Good afternoon. I'm off out on another walk, somewhere I've half been here before, but not down this particular route. We're on the River Dilar, which, if memory serves, is the furthest south of the rivers running off Sierra Nevada that head off into the Atlantic. Further south from here they head off into the Mediterranean. Anyway, this walk is meant to be interesting. It should end up in a waterfall that we visited from a different route, and to get there you have to ford the river. So we'll see how we get on, and how I get on, how much water there is and how easy it is to do. I'm not promising to get there. I'm not sure if I've got enough time. Anyway, it's 6:45, 30th of July, so I'm going to crack on. There's some interesting things to see on the way as well. What you've got here is the outflow from a generating station, which we'll come and have a look at in a minute. This is quite a popular area for people coming for picnicking. The river's quite open and flat here, and people can paddle in the waters, and I don't think you can really swim. There isn't enough depth for that, but they can enjoy themselves, and it's a nice bit of greenery as well. Anyway, I'll bring you back. It's quite a windy afternoon actually. I hope this isn't affecting the sound. It probably is. Got some steep walls here, so it's probably channeling the air, but we should be in the trees for most of it. I think you won't be able to hear me actually. So there's quite a lot. The wind's just died down now, or in this part it has. There's quite a lot of water channels, sekias perhaps, moving the waters one way or the other according to the conditions. I must admit I don't fully understand all of it, but there is a reasonable flow. Yesterday I did the river monitor, Los Caoros, and there looked to be more flow on that, and I thought that might be the case for some reason, but why should there be? Maybe the catchment area higher up in the mountains is smaller. That could be the case. You know, hopefully we'll be coming around the corner. We can have a look at some of the engineering that's here. So here is a series of overflows and channels, which I have to say I don't fully understand their function. It's obviously to direct the water, but you can't really see any sense to it. We'll just come and have a quick look. A bit conscious about the time. I don't really want to be coming back if I'm doing wading at the night. So according to the flow, it's directing it through different channels. That's as much as I can see. Maybe that's the issue. So it goes down one channel when there's lower flow. When it's higher, it can get onto the second one. Maybe that's it. So it's as most of these walks that I seem to do, this is quite spectacular countryside. This is what I was hoping for, that we'd be in the shade, and in the shade we are. Rivers to our right, lots of people picnicking and enjoying the waters. There's still quite a breeze in the trees, but it's not right down here. So my knee's starting to ease into the walk now, so we'll see how well it stands up to the rigours. Wind's picking up again. So look what we've got here. Look at these imposing peaks that are up there. We'll see in a minute, but I think this is Boca de la Pesca, the fish's mouth, where, yes it is, because here, and we're just going to focus in on them, these are the downpipes into the generation station. So we'll come and have a look at the generation station. It's just around the corner now. So I was up at the top of that peak maybe 2 or 3 videos ago. It was actually probably in early May, late April, I forget. Probably April, I think. We're just about here on the left hand side is the little path that takes you up the hillside, zigzagging its way up. So I came to visit the waterfalls here. This was April last year, and maybe the end of March, and I couldn't see my way across the river, so I came back, spotted the path and zigzagged my way up almost to the top. It's, I forget, it could be something between 1100 foot, 1200, maybe as much as 1400 foot from here to the top of Boca de la Pesca, which is what you see up there. And at that time the mountains were still in snow. I caught some wonderful pictures of the descending pipe with the mountain snow later in the background. So the building we can see at the end is the generating station, and the pipes are just starting to come into view here. We'll have a closer look at them in a little bit. The intention of this walk is to get to the waterfall. Now, I did try doing this walk from way on the other side of the mountain, but although I got to a waterfall, I didn't get to the waterfall. It may well be that it's overgrown and difficult to get to, but anyway, we'll give it a go. I'll say a bit short on time. It's a bit of a hard one really, because you're leaving, probably need 3.5 hours to do that. That's one of the more reliable guides tells me. I probably arrived around about 7, so 10:30 is probably, well, it'd be darkness, but there's this stretch here, coming back in the darkness here will be perfectly fine. Crossing over the river from here onwards may be more problematic, but anyway, I don't know how many places I'll be able to safely ford anyway. So you can see the pipes. I'm going to try and focus here, and the light's not very good and I can barely see it anyway. So I made it all the way up to round about here, and there was a maintenance pipe that cuts across the mountain face, and that's where we were. Boca de la Pesca is this one here. Anyway, let's keep going. I think in 5 or 10 minutes we've got the first ford. So you can see the pipe work going up the mountainside there. So I can focus it in just a little bit better, more or less straight. That's a good 1,000 foot drop. So that is a hell of a head of height. There must be pretty strong generators to manage that, and there are many of them dotted around in this region, taking water from the higher mountain and generating electricity and taking the water back into the river. So yeah, it's a good system. Hell of a job to build the would a leach be the right word? A channel, a canal. Sometimes they're known as canals. I think the battery's going to stop in a minute, so I'm going to stop and change the battery. So this looks like to be the first of many fording points. Wish me luck. There's a bloody bridge there which I hadn't spotted. Wonderful. Oh well, you live and learn. Got me my pumps pretty much wet through. Anyway, enough of my complaining. So I think this is the way. I can't be sure. This looks like it down here. And we're on to another ford. Well, wish me luck. Fairly straightforward. That's twice I got my feet wet. And there was a bridge. And here we've got a irrigation channel. I seem to recall walking this stretch now that I'm looking at it before. As I said, when I did that, it was far early in the year, and there was much more water. Although it's often early summer when you get the peak flow, because the snow melt filters through, finds its way, and oh, look at this, it's just amazing. Fantastic views. Oh. Yes, I remember this. This acequia, and the weir. I wonder if that means the pool behind it is. Well, we're on to drier part at the moment. I'm sure I'm going to get my feet wet again soon. Absolutely no complaints about that. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Not cold. Obviously it's cool, but not cold. The earlier in the year, well, you know, you're talking about snow melt, so it can be very cold. And I have swum in snow melt waters, and it gives you a thermal shock. Boom, painful. Quick in, quick out. I suppose a bit like having a sauna, perhaps. So, crossing point again. Yep, seems to be okay. I read on one of the more reliable guides, Mill Routers, 1,000 Routes, exceptionally good website for lots of walks around this part of the world, other parts as well. You'll find them on Instagram, find them on the internet. Something called Wikilocks, which is like a mapping app that you can use. Anyway, they said, if I remember rightly, you have to ford the river 17 times to get to the waterfall. It's an ascent of 350 metres and a round trip of 3.5 hours. So I was saying earlier, I'm probably a bit on the late side for that, but if I'm in darkness here on the way back, I feel fairly confident of being able to get back in safety. Here we go again. To be honest with you, it was a little bit daunting doing the first one, but that's the third or fourth now, and I'm feeling quite confident about the depth, what the stones are like, and my ability to keep balance, so that's good news. So I'll see if I can cut some of this time down. If I see anything that's worth showing you, then I will do, of course. What magnificent water this is. I hope you're enjoying it. I am. Anyway, well, we've got another ford here, so I'll take you to the other side and take it from there. So the path is really well trodden, but there's plenty of undergrowth that's really shot up. This is how I remember coming down from higher up the mountain, trying to find the waterfall. In the end, I just gave it up because I didn't think at that time fording the river higher up when there was that much flow would be sensible. But just look at where we are. This is just amazing stuff. I appreciate on these videos, my policy is to do the absolute minimum of editing. So I'll play around and do a map at the start, make an intro and do an outro, and the rest, unless I'm just pointing the camera in the wrong way or anything like that, then it all goes in. Whether that's a good idea or not, I'm sure with time, more often, sorry, not more often, with time, that's the key thing. I'll do them better, maybe plan. I don't know about scripting, but planning them a little bit better. This was just off the cuff, you know. I didn't think I was going to go out, but in the end I thought, oh, give it a go. What have we got to lose? Oh, not a great deal. Bit of time. Wasn't going to be doing anything this afternoon anyway. So, and I need to get out of the house. And the good thing about this is you can be in the daylight, but not in the sunlight. Totally in the shade. Absolutely wonderful. And obviously, autumn is some time off, but you can start to see the position of the sun changing. It's noticeable. I mean, we're now end of July, so since the equinox, that's like 40 days, which is essentially the start of, counting back the other way, it's like the start of May. Anyway, I think I'm rambling. So, coming out of the wooded section, or a wooded section, I think there's probably more, and the valley's opening up over there. I don't think we've got as far as the Poblado de Sevilla, which is where I've departed for the Boca de Pesca, the Sierra de Fuenes, and try and find the waterfall. I wanted to say cascade, because in Spanish a waterfall is a cascada, so it's easy to slip into, say, or cascade, which actually has some common source. You think what a cascade is, but waterfall is the right word. So yeah, maybe just round behind this to the left is where the Colada de Sevilla is. Not sure about that. Anyway, we're back into the river. Not entirely sure what we're next. Here we go. Yeah. Sort of like wade up a little bit and then come off to the left hand side. A little bit deeper than some of the other fords I've done. Here we go. Here we go again, fording the river. I'm really not too sure how much I'm actually recording here. I seem to be getting failures on the video camera or in the memory card, so wading the river. Not much water, but there's enough. So I keep wading and just getting far enough so my feet are dry again, and then I have to wade across again. It's great fun, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty certain this is now new territory. I didn't come this far last time. I'm looking up at the hill here, and I think that's the Owls Barranco. It might be just round the corner, but should it be, then as you come out of that, high up obviously, as you come out of that, there's a viewpoint which overlooks the waterfall where I'm trying to make my way to. So if that's the case, then so I'm on the backup camera, my mobile phone. We're getting close now. The guides say when you get near, you'll start to hear the roar of the water. So I can just start to hear. It's quite noticeable. I think the viewpoint that I was talking about earlier, if that part got recorded, is above me. I can't see it because I'm in the woods at the moment. But anyway, I'll record what I can on my telephone, which is a bit of a shame. So I don't know how much space I've got on this particular card. Anyway, we'll carry on. So in the centre of the screen here is the viewpoint, the set of rocks in between the trees. That's where, looking down towards what is my right, from there to the left, around about this height, is where the waterfall is. So we shouldn't be too far now. Oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I won't be recording this bit. I'll take a picture. And here she blows. I think it's just going to make it all the worthwhile having come up here. Let's go and see what we can find. What an oasis. So there are selfies and selfies. It's not quite Niagara. The water was absolutely icy cold. It really was. So I didn't stay in for too long, as you might have seen. Anyway, time for some lunch, I think. So it's goodbye from the waterfall, which I've finally got to find, to see and to feel. And now we've got to go back to the last board and then head further up the valley for a very short distance, and then it's back onto the path that I did when I tried to have a look for this waterfall previously. So I'll bring you back when there's new things to see. Just between the trees you'll see the top of the waterfall. Isn't that amazing? I'd come all the way here a year and a half ago, or maybe a year and a bit, and I just couldn't find my way to that waterfall. Amazing. What a place to be. What a place to be. Anyway, I'm heading up the track here. We've done this section before. The waterfall I visited was just a little bit further on the right, but there was no real path there. Anyway, I'll bring you back should there be anything more. So this is the viewpoint, and way down below we can see the waterfall where we've been today. Let's see if I can focus it in. I'm on my mobile now. The video camera seems to have stopped working. There you go. We've probably climbed about 500 foot, 400 foot up from there, and we've got to get up to well, I'm forgetting the heights now. We've got to get up to the Collada de Sevilla, which is the car park where I've started previous walks to this area. And then we've got to follow the path towards Boca de Pesca, which will be appearing in a minute on the horizon. And we've been up that one, those who've watched my other videos. And instead of going up it, we're going to go around it, following the canal de la espartera. There is the Boca de Pesca there. And then we've got to descend. Now the descent is in zigzags. I don't know what the height is. I think from the very top down to the bottom. It's 1,500, 2,000 foot. But from where we'll be descending from is a little bit less, but it's still going to be at least 1,000 foot zigzagueando. That's how you say it in Spanish. And I think I've got around about, I need to be back at the car by 2, really, because I've got half an hour to, no, sorry, by 1:30, because I've got half an hour to go. So I've got an hour and a half. I think I've got my time cut out. Anyway, I'll bring you back probably when we start to have a closer look at the earlier or the later parts of the canal de la Espartera. So it's 2:45, and I'm just making my way back to the car that's just there in the distance. I'm not sure which walk I'm coming back from the River Dilar waterfall, or the canal de la Espartera, whichever one that this appears in, that'll be it. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a exhausting but great walk. Cheerio.